You've been lied to. Not by your friends, not by your family, but by something far more dangerous, your own kitchen. That quiet cupboard, that full freezer, that pantry stacked with cans and boxes. They're not saving you money, they're stealing it. And every time you open that fridge and pull out something moldy, slimy, or just forgotten, you're losing more than food, you're losing control. But here's the terrifying part, you don't even know you're making the mistakes. You think you're being smart, buying in bulk, stocking up on sales, planning ahead. You feel responsible, organized, prepared. But what if I told you that everything you believe about smart grocery shopping is wrong? What if the very habits you're proud of are the reason your trash can smells like regret every Sunday night? Let's talk about her. Sarah, 36, 2 kids, works full-time, lives in Ohio. She thought she had it all figured out.
Every Saturday, like clockwork, she'd roll her cart through the supermarket aisles, loading up on frozen meals, canned beans, family-sized packs of chicken. Stock up now, save later, she'd say, proud of her spreadsheets, her coupons, her no-waste mission. But last winter, something strange happened. Her power went out for 48 hours, just 2 days, no fridge, no freezer. When the lights came back, she opened her freezer and froze. Everything was ruined, not just thawed, destroyed, meat bloated in plastic. Vegetables turned to mush, her emergency stash gone, but that wasn't the worst part. When she started digging deeper, inventorying what she still had, she made a discovery that made her stomach drop. She hadn't just lost 2 days of food. She'd been losing food for years, every month, every week, hidden in plain sight. She calculated it, $247 a year, gone, thrown away, forgotten. That's not groceries, that's a vacation, that's a car payment, that's a down payment on a dream.
And Sarah, she's not alone. The average American household throws away over 30% of the food they buy. Think about that. You spend $100 at the store, $30 goes straight in the trash. Not today, not tomorrow, but eventually. And you don't even notice. Why? Because it's not one big mistake. It's 5 tiny ones, 5 little lies we tell ourselves. And today, we're exposing them all. Mistake number 1. Buying in bulk is always cheaper. Sounds logical, right? More for less per unit? That's what the labels scream at you. Save 3. 99 when you buy 12. But here's what they don't tell you. Only if you use it all. That 24-pack of yogurt? Great deal if you eat 24 yogurts. But what if 2 go bad before you reach number 18? What if the flavor you bought goes out of style with the kids? What if you get sick of it? Suddenly, that bargain cost you more than if you'd bought single packs at full price. Bulk pricing is a trap for the overconfident. It assumes perfect consumption, perfect timing.
Perfect life. And none of us live there. I once met a man who bought 87 cans of chickpeas. 87, why? They were on sale. He stored them in his garage. 6 months later, he found them, rusting, dented, forgotten. He never opened a single one. 87 cans. $130 down the drain for a sale. The real cost of bulk isn't on the shelf. It's in the storage, the rotation, the commitment. If you can't guarantee consumption, bulk isn't savings, it's gambling, and the house always wins. Mistake number 2, the freezer saves everything myth. You see food getting close to its date, toss it in the freezer, it'll last forever, right? Wrong. Freezing slows decay. It doesn't stop time. Ice crystals form, moisture escapes, texture changes, flavor fades, and most people, they never label, never date. So 6 months later, you've got a mystery box of frozen something. Is it last month's chili? Or something from 2 Thanksgivings ago? You don't know, so you throw it out. Another loss.
But worse, freezing doesn't preserve quality, only safety. That chicken you froze 3 years ago, technically safe. But is it edible? Is it food? Or just a science experiment? And here's the secret no one talks about. Your freezer is not a magic vault. It's a time bomb. And every item inside has a hidden expiration, not on the label, but on your memory. When you forget what's in there, it's already gone. I spoke to a woman in Colorado who opened her freezer after moving. She found 14 frozen turkeys. 14. All from different holidays. All gifts, backups, just-in-case meals. She cried when she threw them away, not because of the money, but because of the waste, the guilt, the sheer volume of her good intentions, now rotting in a dumpster. Mistake 3. Trusting expirations like gospel. Best before. Use by, sell by. These labels sound official, scientific, final. But here's the shocker. They're not regulated the same way across foods. In fact, most are set by manufacturers, not scientists, not doctors, not even government agencies. They're estimates, often conservative, often designed to protect the brand, not your health. Eggs, often good for weeks past the date if refrigerated. Yogurt, months. Bread, freeze it, toast it, it's fine. But we see that date and we panic, we toss, we waste. One study found that 20% of food waste comes from people misreading expiration labels. That's right, we're throwing away perfectly good food because of words on a package. I met a nurse who threw out $60 worth of because the bottle said, discard after 30 days of opening. She didn't know that was only for the liquid form. The pills, still good for years. She didn't check, she assumed, and that's the danger, assumption. The labels aren't laws, they're guidelines, and if you don't learn the rules, you'll keep losing. Mistake 4, planning meals like a robot. You download an app,
You plan 7 perfect meals.
You buy exactly what the list says. Chicken Monday, pasta Tuesday, tacos Wednesday. But life isn't a spreadsheet. Kids get sick, work runs late, you come home exhausted. Suddenly that perfect chicken feels like effort, so you order pizza. And now, that chicken sits and sits. And by Friday it's questionable, so you toss it. Meal planning fails not because it's bad, but because it's too rigid. It doesn't account for mood, energy, surprise events. The real key isn't planning every meal, it's planning flexible ingredients. Buy components, not scripts. Have rice, beans, frozen veggies, canned tomatoes, things that can become anything. That way, even if you don't make Monday's meal, you can still use the ingredients in a stir-fry, soup, or omelet. Rigidity breeds waste. Flexibility saves food. I once interviewed a chef who said the best pantry isn't full, it's smart. He only bought what he knew he could repurpose. No single-use ingredients.
No special occasion items that never come. His fridge, minimal. His waste, near zero, because he didn't plan meals. He planned possibilities. Mistake 5, ignoring the invisible zone. This is the deadliest one, the silent killer of groceries. It's not the fridge, not the pantry. It's the place you stop seeing, the back of the shelf, the bottom drawer, the corner behind the rice cooker. Food goes in and disappears. Not lost, not stolen, just forgotten. Out of sight, out of mind. And when you finally find it, it's too late. Scientists call it sensory adaptation. Your brain stops noticing things that don't change. That jar of pickles in the back. After a week, your brain filters it out. It's like wallpaper. And by the time you remember it, mold city. The solution? Rotation. The first in, first out rule. New groceries go behind the old ones. Force yourself to see and use what's been waiting. Otherwise, you're not stocking food, you're burying it.
But here's where it gets deeper, because this isn't just about food, it's about control, about intention, about the stories we tell ourselves to feel safe. We buy in bulk to feel prepared. We freeze to feel secure. We plan to feel in charge. But when the system fails, when we waste, we don't blame the system. We blame ourselves. I'm bad with money. I'm disorganized. I'm lazy. But what if it's not you? What if it's the myths you've been taught, the lies sold as wisdom? Because here's the truth. You can fix this, not by buying more tools, not downloading another app, but by seeing the invisible, by questioning the rules, by realizing that the most dangerous thing in your kitchen isn't spoiled food's unexamined habit. And that brings us to something even deeper, something no one talks about. What if your grocery habits are a mirror, a reflection of how you live, of how you plan, of how you handle uncertainty? Because the woman who buys 14 turkeys just in case.
She's not just afraid of running out of food. She's afraid of being unprepared for life. The man who hoards chickpeas? He's not just chasing a sale. He's chasing control in a world that feels chaotic. And maybe, just maybe, fixing your pantry isn't about saving money. It's about understanding yourself. But we're not done, because there's one final twist. One secret that changes everything. One practice, simple, almost invisible, that can cut your food waste by 70% without buying a single new container, without meal planning, without even changing what you buy. It's not about discipline. It's about awareness, about creating one ritual, one moment of pause, one question you must ask before every grocery trip. And when you learn it, you'll never look at your fridge the same way again. Because the real secret isn't in the food, it's in the question. And tomorrow, I'll tell you what it is. But tonight, go look in your freezer, open the back of your pantry.
Pull out that drawer you haven't touched in months, and ask yourself, what have I been ignoring? Because it's not just food that's rotting in the dark. It's potential. It's peace. It's peace of mind. And it's time to bring it back into the light.